So I'm standing on the porch of the Arts and Cultural Theater or something, the ACT it's called. And that's the entrance to the Haney Place Mall. I'm in downtown MapleRidge. This is pretty much downtown other than some shopping plazas and parking lots. This mall here is green, artificial. There was other things here in the old days, school. That's a leisure center to the left there. We're rebuilding the pool. And then a couple of modern buildings. 8th Avenue, now 224th at the far end. And then over to the right is the Municipal Hall. And as you can see above me, I'm in the porch to get out of the incessant rain in MapleRidge at this time of year. It's worse farther east, and the farther north in MapleRidge I would go, it would be worse. I'm moving to Canyon Alpine, I think, pretty sure. I'm going up tomorrow to look. It'll be on the dry side of the canyon. Not far from the wet. Yale's nearby, but it's really wet in Yale, so and Buzzum. But once you get past Hell's Gate, it's nice. So I decided to not put my ugly mug in the video tonight, you know, because I'm gonna have an ugly mug. But I am gonna put up a GoFundMe for dentures, which would really help me to get towards doing the Patreon more confidently. I'm encouraged by the things I've found out about, you know, certain individuals who've done well and what they're talking about, and you know, I can see the future in video in general for communications, but also for, I don't know, disseminating what I do, whether it's music or educational things about your history or the world around you, the way things are. So downtown MapleRidge is pretty grim, you know. Anyway, so I have this story from yesterday that I had this GoPro I bought. I was all psyched about it. I thought this was going to help me along with my career, and then I got this P20 that I'm recording this on. I realized, holy shit, I don't need the GoPro at all. So I had to wait till yesterday to take it back to Metrotown Center in Burnaby. And at Metrotown Station, just as I was getting off the train, I left it on the train after it had been on my wrist all day, and I'd only taken it off my wrist at about Edmonds or 22nd. Why, I don't know. Subconscious loss, distraction by my P20 perhaps, and I was playing back egotistically maybe some of my music, but no, it was trying to keep an eye on it, focus on what was going on, but I didn't realize I hadn't put it back on my wrist. Anyways, I talked to Transit. There's a good chance, I think, that it's going to show up, but they said eventual things get turned in, they get kept in a lockbox for a few days. It gets down to them 3 to 5 to 7 days later. So I have hopes it returns, and the computer I wanted has been sold anyway. There's another one for $2.99, so I'm still going to do the GoFundMe for that, but I really do need the teeth. But anyways, it was one of these karmic things, because the Saturnalia, during the Saturnalia, the world was turned upside down, you know, and the slave sat on the throne, and the master did all the things that a slave usually puts up with, if you know what I mean, right? I don't think a lot of the masters particularly were bothered by it, knowing what I know about Roman social standards. Let's call it social to avoid the X word. Anyway, so downtown MapleRidge on a beautiful, wet British Columbia night. Travelers, listen to me. This is British Columbia in the winter, okay? On the lower mainland it is, and up the coast. You know, rain is what you can expect. Come to be wet. Lots of people do come here from Latin America just to be wet, right? That's why the kids come here for school. They like it, right? You know, they come from a parched country, right? But there'll be more people coming here with time. But I'm going to stop playing this and get my whistles out. Stop talking about this and get my whistles out. I just wanted to show you where I'll be in the front backdrop of the next thing, but I wanted to rattle on about that at the end of the intercalary days, which was basically yesterday, you know, or the day after the end of the intercalary, which there's no real calculation on it anymore. You know, you don't have Roman augurs around to decide, but my guts told me it began on the 20th. You know, that it seems to have ended, but it ended with my benefit given me from, let's say, Santa Claus, you know, but a grace of years of work done past, thanks to a great contract. I got a nice couple of checks that totaled $440 just before Christmas, and headed in, bought this thing, you know, and it was kind of like a Santa Claus gift to me, you know, and if Santa Claus gave it to me, then I figure the magic elves will see that it finds its way back to me. I also put up a Craigslist ad about it. So I'm fine. I'm not mine. I'm a Buddhist of a certain kind, and possessions do mean nothing. And everything that you've lost, you can regain. It's who you are that counts and what's inside you. I know that says that in the Batman movie, but that's not where I got that from. It's who you are that counts, and what's inside you, and what you can do. It's what you can do with your time, and the creations I can make, not the recordings I've lost on drives I can't get back anymore, but inspired by what I know was on them. This space frame architecture is really cool, but it dates from the 1950s, and it's a social credit / liberal trademark in British Columbia. Futurism, like really crass, sterile futurism. That's my final comment on this plaza. There's no human dimension to it. It's all square sheet metal and concrete and glass buildings and square angles. There's a little gazebo down there in the park, down there at the end there. And then the government building is there, and there's offices up there. And they complain about me playing guitar here. I don't think they'll complain about penny whistle in a moment. But my voice is getting parched. I like the colors there. That's nice. Where can I put this so it don't lean that way? To have that behind me, I love that color there. Anyways, let's put this down and stop talking, and I'm going to start again when I'm playing on the music. This is what I'm standing in front of. It's the lobby of the Act. Did you see what I mean about bland and sterile? Right. This is a cultural center for the community. Sure, it's nice and clean and modern, but where's the art? You know, where's this feeling of being a cultural place? No, it looks like an office crossed with an airport waiting lounge. Anyways, from MapleRidge, British Columbia, in the pouring rain, in Kwantlen territory, in the Kwantlen lands of the unsurrendered territories, about to move to the Clap lands in the Fraser Canyon. And I won't hear that. You know that? Hear that sound? The rain? I won't be hearing that too much anymore. Wind though, and more trains than usual because they resonate in the mountains anyway. It's gonna be an interesting change. I look forward to it. It's time for me to leave the Lower Mainland. My time here is done. Anyways, Happy New Year. Bye-bye.